Hi, welcome to ABC's Film. This week we are watching a Best Picture winner. It's West Side Story. It's a musical version of Romeo and Juliet. It's supposed to be good. So, West Side Story is basically the story of Romeo and Juliet. It kind of hits most of the same beats, only instead of it being Montagues and Capulets, it's Puerto Ricans and Americans.
The Jets and the Sharks.
Yeah, the Jets and the Sharks are the gangs, but I mean, the divide really is.
I kind of had the feeling that the Jets were mostly Italian, but that wasn't really borne out. It was the haircuts that really did that for me, because they really had the whole slick back rocker.
Oh no, because everybody did the clicking, didn't they?
Yeah, which is
Even
fantastic.
Puerto Ricans did, yeah.
It's this is kind of really influential, and if you haven't seen the film, you will have seen parodies of it because of the way they're dancing and doing the clicking. There's like the good one from Flight of the Conchords with the Tough Brets.
Oh, it ruins it. It ruined parts of it for me. Like just watching it, and all I could hear is like, "Stay cool, Brett. Brett, stay cool."
Yeah, get lost.
Stay cool, Brett. Stay cool.
Stay cool, Brett.
冷静一点 ，Brett。
Brett, cool your jets. Don't sweat.
Don't flip. Don't get upset.
Brett, let him go, Daddy-o.
Listen, Brett, the kid's not a threat. I'm not gonna sleep till I found him. I'll pound him. I bet he regrets he ever messed with Brett from the Tough Brets.
No. Overall, what did you think? First impression?
My first impression was like, okay, like a 6 out of 10, kind of 4 stars kind of film. Watching some of the dance sequence subsequently, I get the impression watching it like again, I might like it a lot more because I was kind of paying more attention to how the dance sequences were framed and how the choreography was going. And like I watched the America when the Puerto Rican.
That's my favourite bit. Well, one of my favourite bits.
That was incredible. Actually watching it a second time, and G Officer Krupke I really like as well. I liked that a lot watching it the first time.
Yeah.
I think the dance sequences are really outstanding, and obviously as well, the score by Leonard Bernstein is really, really good as well.
Yeah.
You would have heard most, again, because it's so famous, you probably have heard most of the songs kind of seeping into your culture in different things and in different places. The song Somewhere from this, which is probably like kind of the standout centerpiece song, whether like, I'm not going to try and sing it, but that's been done loads of times by loads of different people as well.
Somewhere out there.
No, Barbra Streisand like built her career off that song pretty much.
Did
like,
she?
It's a very famous like version of her. Like she does like a really good version.
All right.
Tom Waits does a version as well on his album Blue Valentine as well, which is also a really good version. So
yeah,
that's kind of had a life outside of musical. What did you think of the story overall? Did you get swept away by the love story in this?
No.
No.
Like Alex said afterwards, we went out to get some food, and on the way, Alex said like they're characters that are in love because the movie tells you they're in love.
Which happens in a lot of films, but this especially.
But you don't really feel it. It still works at the end. The end is really well done because it ends similarly to Romeo and Juliet.
People might die.
Yeah. So when one of them dies, I think you could probably watch that scene on its own. It's so well done, and you would get emotional about it. I like up to that point, I just didn't care about them.
No, it didn't work
like as lovers. It was really superficial, which I think my main complaint of it is every time something cool happened, I was like, oh, I wish I saw that live.
Yeah.
Like I wish I saw that like as a stage production rather than a film. Because like you say, the choreography is absolutely amazing, and that would be great to look at.
The sets are brilliant as well, and the lighting especially. Like it has the real kind of stage lighting in a lot of places when it's dark,
and it's like it's all framed really well. Like I read online afterwards there was 2 directors because one of them.
One was the guy who did the musical, who directed the play or something, or directed. He was the choreographer in the play, like Jerome Robbins, I think.
Yeah, because that was something I thought. Like, at what point does the choreographer take credit for the direction of the characters? You know, because like most of it's like dancing, but like the framing and the dancing are both really well, but I don't think they complemented each other too well. If that makes sense.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Like, I feel like the direction, like the way the camera moves has to be like a spectacle as well.
It was quite static, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of the dance sequences.
Whereas like the
It didn't,
actual
like-
framing was great. Like like they say, every frame a painting. Like you could print out any frame of this movie and it would look great. But it's not like, I don't know. There's no like movement.
No, there's no move. Most of it is
Well,
shot at kind of eye level.
There are a couple of like hero shots where the camera's low down. You know,
Yeah.
people are running towards the camera, and that works really well. But just overall, it was more like I'd just much rather see it in person than on film. It was
fantastic.
brilliantly directed, and the choreography was brilliant. It's just some strange reason the two didn't gel for me.
That's kind of this is kind of like a complaint I've had recently with like Ben-Hur. It's like a technical exercise and with like kind of how everything was put together is really impressive.
Yeah.
But in terms of like telling a coherent and engaging story, for me it didn't work.
Yeah.
Obviously, for some people, I imagine it really does.
Yeah.
You know, some people get really swept away by it.
Well, I
They
mean,
get
we
really
watched it.
emotionally
We watched it with
involved.
my dad. My dad came round and he loves it. He like gets
Yeah.
swept away like crazy. And
Which is, you know,
that's cool.
absolutely
No, yeah,
fantastic.
it's the sort of film where I can see why people do it. Just didn't for me.
Didn't for me either. It's kind of the same as Dancer in the Dark for me. Like, it worked for you, but did not work at all
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
But I didn't find this actively like kind of shit, like Dancer in the Dark. So, but I was I wouldn't say I was bored watching this at like any stage. Like,
No,
there was
I
always something to kind of keep you engaged.
I think it went
and
by
keep you
really
watching,
quickly.
But the story didn't engage me. The
Yeah.
story wasn't very interesting. Like when the gangs were together, that was the most interesting part. I think when they were like kind of interacting with each
Bits,
other.
yeah.
And, yeah, like when the Jets at the very start were like, when you're a Jet, you're always a Jet. That
Yeah.
kind of dance number as well. They had like really good choreography.
That
really
was
good.
I read afterwards. The guy Riff, his voice was dubbed for that song,
Really.
but not for the rest. And that song, when he started singing
was
that, like
quite bad.
when you're a jet, like he was really bad.
When you're a jet, all the way from your first cigarette to your last dying day. When you're a jet, let them do what they can. You've got brothers around, you're a family man.
And I wonder why they dubbed that song but not the rest.
Yeah, because in like G Officer Krupke, I thought he was really good in that one.
Yeah, and that's
That
his
was
own
done quite
voice.
well,
Yeah.
which is really strange. But the two main was it Natalie Wood and the guy Tony.
Yeah.
Who's the actor I don't know because he wasn't very good in this. Anyway, both their voices were dubbed as well, which I think is a really strange choice to cast someone in a musical, like a big screen musical like this, and have people who can't sing particularly well.
Every day, like the one before, little town full of little people, waking up to say.
Yeah, but it would be the same as The Greatest Showman just came out and is massive, and Rebecca Ferguson's in that
Yeah.
because she's Rebecca Ferguson, but her voice is dubbed because she can't sing.
But the two main actors in this weren't particularly big at the time.
Nah, but they probably
But-
knew the producer or something. Do you know what I mean? It's not just let's put somebody in who
No,
can do it
I
all,
guess
like,
so,
us
but
favours
like,
and...
there were various people who tried out for this role who were much bigger name actors than the guy who eventually got the part. Elvis tried out for it and turned it down.
No, I read his agent turned it down on his behalf.
Tom Cooper, or Tom,
Yeah, I don't know.
Colonel Tom. Anyway,
Yeah.
so he kind of like Elvis regretted subsequently, and obviously I think Elvis would have been really good in that part because Elvis, like him or not, can actually sing.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's kind of just.
Can he act? I've never seen him in a film.
He's good in Heartbreak Hotel.
Yeah.
A lot of his films were kind of like candy floss, you know, they're really
Yeah,
light
they're,
and fluffy and a bit rubbish.
I always think about That Thing You Do,
Yeah.
you know, where they're sort of like promoted and like they have to go out and make films and shit like that, like Spice World.
Yeah, I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and gay, and I pity any girl who's in me today.
Apart from like Tony and Maria, what did you think of the acting overall?
It was alright.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the acting that was the problem. It was, and I say it's a problem is wrong, but the whole like, you know, hey daddy-o, thing was kind of jarring.
I never actually like kind of looked up if gangs used to speak that way.
Yeah, I think they did. We've heard Daddy-O in other films,
but
it's over the top.
It's really dated.
Dramatic,
It's really dated now. It was kind of like when they made Deadwood. It was like we don't use slang from the era because it will sound really dated and ridiculous. And in this, obviously, this was made at the time.
Yeah.
This is set in the 50s or the 60s or whatever. But to us, like the modern era, it's kind of like whack.
Yeah.
And
no, everybody was
Wacko Jacko
believable,
and
and
stuff
like
that.
when the director tells you that you have to go "Arr," or something, some people can't pull that off. These guys pulled it off. It was what they were doing was lame, but it kind of fit and was believable.
Not exactly like Los Angeles gangs though. Like it doesn't really give you like kind of an impression of what gangs might have been like at the time. You know,
it makes me think
it's like sanitized.
of Arrested Development when one of the characters, Tobias, mistakes a dance troupe for a gang. And he sort of reforms them, and then goes out to try like reform real gangs, and they just end up getting stabbed. Spoilers.
Hey, Fazellas. Looks like you guys are up to no good. Well, this gang used to be like that 2, 3, 4. So you think you're tough? Well, we hate rapping. But don't bust a cap in, because here's what's happening. We're breaking out some old-fashioned tapping.
Hey, look, the Crips, there's a new gang in town.
Oh, I was shot! The miscalculated! Retreat!
Quick, switch to Foley, he's not gonna help!
Like I think the guy who played Bernardo was quite good. He was quite charismatic. I'm pretty sure he was blacked up. You showed me a picture, didn't you?
Which one's Bernardo?
He was the leader of the Sharks.
Oh yeah,
so he had like a theatrical kind of black.
Yeah, I think most people kind of looked blacked up, but it is like the colors on this are definitely like saturated.
Yeah,
so it
but
might
it was
have just been
like kind of most of the Sharks were actually kind of like extras, weren't they? Like he was like the only main one, and his sister was like the main character as well. Whereas in the Jets, like a lot of the characters there were kind of you know, recognisable, actually played parts.
Did you like the Jets?
No, I think they were assholes.
Yeah,
that's kind of the point, I guess, as well, isn't it?
But I mean, like proper. I mean, all the way through it was like, oh, they're a ragtag band, but then towards the end, there's a scene where
is it Aneta?
Yeah, Maria's friend goes to tell Tony that Maria's died to get him out, I guess.
No, she goes there to tell him that he has to wait for her because she's been detained by the police.
Oh, is that?
And then she gets like beaten up.
Yeah.
And, like kind of almost like kind of raped is kind of the impression.
It's definitely assault.
It's definitely like they harass her and then she's like, oh, she's dead, to upset them because obviously she's just been kind of pushed around a bit.
And it's a really awkward scene as well. Like,
it's really kind of
not
uncomfortable
pleasant
to watch it now. Yeah.
Yeah. And after that, I was just like, I don't give a shit about any of these guys.
Yeah. She was really good though.
She was very good.
She was the best
particularly
actress
towards
in this,
the end.
I think.
She was by far the best.
He is one of them. No, Anita. Yes!
A boy like that would kill your brother. Forget that boy and find another. One of your own kind. Stick to your own kind.
What did you think of the songs?
I really like the songs.
Yeah.
Maria's been stuck in my head.
Yeah, that's been in mine as well. Just been
that's kind of like an overture that's kind of keeps coming back.
Just
I listened to that subsequently. Tonight's really good. Like I say, like I've heard America is like There Are No Cats in America.
I've always loved I Want to Be in America. Even as a kid, like me and my brother used to sing it.
I'm So Pretty as well is like
I Feel Pretty.
I feel pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saying I'm So Pretty is kind of nice. I guess. Isn't it? Yeah, I really like all the songs in there. Like I say, they've kind of permeated through the culture, and like I know most of them just by osmosis. So, but no, I really enjoyed all the songs. Yeah. Which is the main kind of attraction of the film is the songs and the choreography and the dancing, which is spot on in like every single scene.
Yeah, the choreography is really outstanding.
Everything outside of the choreography and the set.
It's more like, it might sound a bit like cliche to say, but like there are parts where it's like interpretive dance, if you know what I mean. Like they're like a ballet.
Yeah.
You know, they don't tell you what's going on. They just people are dancing around, and you get the point, which we haven't seen in any of these like musicals up till now.
The sequence at the very start of the film, for like the first 15 minutes, when they're kind of walking around like the playground doing that, and it's like introducing both gangs and like the rivalry, and there's a lot of like kind of weird like chase sequences and fights where they're just kind of floating around a little bit, not in a gay way, obviously.
Nobody thought that.
You're
just like no homo.
But yeah, that's there's no, I don't think there's any dialogue in that sequence, but
it's a while before that. There's like
it introduces it quite well,
like the odd word, like somebody or like a bit of slang or something. But
show don't tell.
Yeah,
and that's really showing.
It's really done well, but that's again one of the reasons why I think it would work better on stage.
Technical masterpiece. It's really a marvel, and I can really see why it won so much. Like I say, it's 10 Oscars, so it's the most the musical's ever won. I'm pretty sure it's the best musical we've seen up to this point. I preferred it to Gigi, to be honest with you, because there wasn't much going on in Gigi.
Technically, it's better than Gigi, because the sets were amazing.
I tell you what,
and
though,
everything,
like American in Paris as well. Apart from the fact that I didn't enjoy like that last 15-minute sequence. That is
very impressive.
That was incredible. The costumes and stuff. There's no like really interesting costume work in this, which you can kind of understand because they're meant to be kind of destitute juvenile gangs, aren't they? So they're not going to be dressing.
I like the dresses.
Yeah,
but no, I know what you mean. It's not Gigi level of like costumes where they just walk out and then come back in and they're wearing something different for no reason.
I got a message for your American buddy. You tell that murderer that Maria's never going to meet him. You tell him that Gino found out about them and shot her. She's dead.
So that was our review of West Side Story.
That's it. That's good ending.
Yeah. Every night I bring her Frankfurter sandwiches, Frankfurter sandwiches. Oh, my baby loves those Frankfurter sandwiches, Frankfurter sandwiches. I try to win her with candy, ice cream and custard. But how she likes hot dogs with mustard.